40 Santa Claus in a Chimney Acrylic Nailer Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hello everyone! In today's video I'm going to be doing a Christmas design that is something that was a request that actually, this is something I just want to mention. Requests, when I get them, especially for a holiday, if you guys have an idea for a holiday design, I pretty much almost require them to be given to me months in advance. I plan these things out meticulously. I have notebooks all over the place and lists and plans because it's the only thing that keeps me sane. And so anytime I get a Christmas request that's in December, it pretty much is going to be postponed until next year. This one, however, came in, I believe, in July, so I don't remember who it was that requested this, but if you're watching this, that was awesome. That was fantastic, and I love that. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. Otherwise, you know, if you guys do have ideas, throw them my way. Depending on what they are, maybe I'll get them out this year. Sometimes I find an afternoon, like, what should I do? So, but I just want to mention that. Otherwise, a year from now is probably when you'll see that. So anyways, this one is a Santa that pops out of a chimney, and the Santa himself is pretty much flat, just so that he can slide out of the chimney, but the chimney itself is 3D, and then there's the little thing that pushes it up, and that's, you know, all 3D. But the Santa's pretty flat, just so that he's not gonna get caught and anything when he pops out of the chimney. But this one is really fun. It's kind of one of those designs that's a little shocking that you don't know what to expect, and then all of a sudden there was a Santa there, so I really enjoyed making this. It was, yeah, it's kind of one of those just fun, goofy things that really, I don't know, surprises you, and it's fun when nail art can do that. So I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well. So I'm going to begin my nail with an overlay of one of my absolute favorite acrylics that I've ever bought in my life, and as it's beginning to run out, I'm thinking to myself I should have bought two. So it's just a glittery dark blue, and then I encased it with a layer of clear, which I know my video cut off there. My camera went dead or something. And then I'm going to be filing the nail with my E-file, make sure it's a nice, good shape. Then going over it with a finer bit, just to make sure that the actual texture of the surface of the acrylic is really, really smooth. So now using the same size nail tip, I'm going to be cutting out my little Santa legs. And I'm using a very thin nail tip because it's easier to cut. Just a little note. So I'm going to be cutting out the legs, and as you can see, I trimmed off a lot of the sides first, just so that it has to be much thinner and much smaller than the nail tip is. So cut it out of there. When you use the same size, though, it's going to have the same curvature that the nail does. That's why you're wanting to use the same size. So cut out first just the shape like a rectangle, and then cut out the triangle for between his legs, and then little bits off each side so that you can kind of define his shoes. Then I'm going to be rounding off his shoes a little bit with a nail file, just to make sure that they don't look so, I don't know, the scissors makes them look really chunky and kind of clunky looking. And then I'm going to be painting over my little Santa legs with red gel polish, and this is a glittery red gel because I like glitter. And I'm going to be doing, I did 2 coats of the glittery red and then top coat, and I'm going to be gluing my little stick, my little wire stick, onto the back of my Santa legs. The reason I painted them at this point, I finished them later, is because I didn't want to lose them, and if they're clear, the chances of me losing them are way higher than if they are bright red. So I painted them red at this point so that they wouldn't get lost in my workstation. And now in a nail form backing, I'm going to be making my chimney. So with a bronze color of acrylic, I'm going to be first sculpting out the front of the chimney. So this is the part that when you look at the nail, you see. The other parts just kind of get ignored, which is good. You don't really want them to be the focus, but this is the part that you really see. Kind of hold your legs over the top of it to make sure that the chimney is going to be big enough, because if it's not big enough and your legs don't fit, that's really no good, and that's not going to help you out at all. So then I'm going to make 2 side pieces that are just longer, thinner rectangles that are the same height as the first one you made. So sculpt them right next to that first one. And like I said, they're much thinner, they're much smaller. They're not, these are just the little spacers. They're what's going to add the height to your chimney so that there's room for your Santa between the nail and the front of the chimney. So there's the first one. And now I'm going to be doing the second one right on the other side. Like I said, you could take and you could draw out the shapes of these on a piece of paper like I do for a lot of things. I know that when I built my little haunted house this Halloween, I did draw out all the different pieces that needed to be made and then made them. For this one, I just kind of wanted to eyeball it. I was feeling confident. It worked out well. It just, you know, it's kind of optional. If you want to, though, definitely draw out the pieces. There's no problem with that. And then create another one that'll go over the bottom. This one, you're going to want to just create a little bit of it's almost like a little doghouse entrance. That's what it reminds me of. But a little hole, not all the way through it, though. So there's a little bit at the top that still has the acrylic there, but just where the wire will come through once it's on the nail. So hold your legs on the nail where you want them to be when they're inside the chimney. So the bottom of the leg should be at the bottom of the nail. or at the tip of the nail, and then put 2 little pen marks at the distance apart your chimney sides need to be. So grab your nail glue, wonderful stuff, and then glue on the first chimney side. So glue it on top of those dots that you made with your Sharpie. This way you know that your chimney is going to be the width that you need it to be, because otherwise it's a little sketchy. Are your legs going to fit in? This is all about making sure the legs fit. This is like, that's the goal of this design, is making sure your legs fit. I didn't have any problems, but I was very careful about the whole thing. So glue on your 2 sides so that they're going straight up, perpendicular to the nail. They're just kind of shooting off into the air there. And then take more of your nail glue. You can set your front on it, make sure your legs fit, you know, check it here and there. And then add more glue to the exposed edge of your chimney sides, and then place the top of your chimney on top of those and hold that for just a moment until the glue is set. And I know this is it's very precarious at this point, because that's just nail glue, and nail glue is not the strongest of substances. But then take and just sort of secure it together with some more of your bronze acrylic. So take more bronze acrylic and just fill in every little gap that you see and every joint. So every place where pieces of acrylic are glued together, make sure that you cover that up with some acrylic so that you don't have any issues with things falling apart later. Because you don't want to spend an hour on a nail design and then have it crash and burn just by sneezing on it or blowing on it or looking at it. You want to make sure everything is really strong and sturdy and going to last. I know once, not too long ago actually, I have a jar that I keep my nail designs in, which I know is not the best system. And I keep saying I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to put my things in a little board. And I have the board or the little frame thing, but I just haven't gotten there yet. I don't have time for these things. But I dropped my jar. The jar shattered. No nail design shattered. So the nail designs themselves are strong. Jar, dead. But the nail designs lasted, all of them that were in there. So I just wanted to mention that. So really make sure that they're strong, because you never know what's going to happen. So now I added some bricks to the front of my chimney. So I just put some more of that bronze acrylic down and then drew out the bricks with a little silicone tool. And then I'm going to be taking, and I have some more bronze acrylic. I'm just going to create a little thickness around the top edge of the chimney. I don't know, you see that on chimneys, that they have like a thicker border along the top of it. So I just made sure that that looked a little thicker there too. And now I'm going to be taking white acrylic and adding snow on the edges of it. So just kind of on either side of my chimney, just a little bit like it's the snow covered roof. And then I'm going to be taking more of that white acrylic and adding some snow on the edge of the chimney itself. So just take little bits of acrylic and just kind of string it along the top of it and kind of drip it down some, because if it is snowing, which, you know, a lot of people think of snow and Christmas like they go together. I personally don't like snow in general, so whatever. Then I live in Wisconsin, that doesn't make sense. But add some snow along the top of your chimney, and then make sure your legs fit in once again, and they will go all the way through since you don't have that bottom on yet, which is what you're going to be doing now. So go ahead and glue your bottom in place. That sounds really bad. But glue the bottom of the chimney on. So you're going to be sealing in so those legs don't just fly out and you're making sure that they're going to get stopped. So glue that down, hold it in place, and then you're going to be doing the same thing like you did before and securing the edges of it with some more bronze acrylic. Kind of getting a theme here yet? Yeah, so just seal the edges, because nail glue is not trustworthy. So just make sure everything is going to be nice and secure. Let that set before you go and mess with it and try to put your legs back in, because if you accidentally miss that hole that's in the bottom and you put your legs and they poke it, it's probably just going to fall off. So meanwhile, you're going to be painting your legs. So buff off the shine from your legs from the top coat, and then you're going to take some black paint and you're going to be adding a little bit of a belt on there, because if he doesn't have the belt, his pants are just going to fall off, and that's a whole nother nail design. So just add the belt and then paint the shoes black as well. So very, very simple, quick painting here. This is just classic Santa Claus. So black belt, black shoes, and then we're going to be adding some white trim. So white trim on the little cuffs of the pants. And then some white trim on the little bit of coat that shows. Not too much of his coat shows at all, but just a little bit, and then a little bit going up the center of the coat. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of a gold belt buckle. So just a little gold triangle or rectangle square for a belt buckle. And then apply some gel top coat over the top of your legs. And now with white paint, I'm going to be doing the painting on my nail. So I'm going to take and just highlight the snow that's on the edge of the chimney, as well as the snow that is sitting on the roof that's around the chimney. So add a little bit. That's going to make your white look like it's so much more dimensional, and, you know, kind of fill in, touch up, fix what you gotta. And then, like I said, add some more on the snow next to it, just like that. And then add a couple very simple, just 8-point little star lines, just kind of in the background. I believe I did either 3 or 4 of them, just so that it's got kind of either that starry, snowy, sparkly sky. The glitter in the blue background does give that effect anyway, but you want to add just a little bit more, and then a couple polka dots here and there just to fill in the space. Like I said, snowy Christmas night is kind of what I was going for here. And then with black paint, I'm going to go through diluted black paint, mind you, and I'm going to be just kind of defining my bricks. And I didn't actually sculpt bricks on the sides. Like I said, you don't really see that, but I'm going to be painting them. It is nice to have the 3D bricks on the front, but the sides of the chimney just kind of get missed. So you don't really need to do the 3D. You don't take the time to do that. But then apply some gel sealer over your blue sparkly background and over your snow. And then after that's in there, cure it, and then make sure your Santa legs still fit. Hold them up to where you want them to be when they're completely out. Make a mark right at the base of your wire where it sits right inside the chimney. And then take that and cut it off at your mark, and then put some nail glue on the end of it. Nail glue, there's so much nail glue in this design, it's crazy. And then glue a bead to the end of your wire. That bead is going to prevent it from going all the way up and falling out. So now your legs are permanently stuck inside this chimney, which is kind of sad, you know, he's stuck in there. But you can very easily move your legs around in there. It is hilarious. It cracks me up. This design just puts a huge smile on my face. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and I hope it gives you a little laugh maybe. And don't forget to share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I really would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!